Hi everyone, it is almost Thanksgiving. I don't normally do Thanksgiving recipes because I don't ever have Thanksgiving. Dave's always working. My family's far away, so it's just another day to me. But I come across this recipe and I wanted to share it with you. Today I'll be making caramel peanut pumpkin pie. So what all goes into the caramel peanut pumpkin pie? 1 roll of refrigerated pie crust, and that is a 14.1 ounce box. 1 15-ounce pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie can. 2 eggs, slightly beaten. 3/4 cup sugar. 1/2 teaspoon salt. 2 teaspoons flour. 1½ teaspoon pumpkin pie spice. 1 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip thawed, 1/4 cup caramel sauce, and 1/4 cup salted peanuts coarsely chopped. So let's begin. Preheat the oven to 425. So it did not say to roll out the pie dough. It says to stick it on the pie plate. For one thing, you want to make sure that you have this sitting out for a while so it is more pliable. But since I'm going to put it in a deep dish pan, and it didn't say a deep dish pan is needed, but pumpkin is so messy and it gets so full, I decided I am not going to make a mess. It may not be filled up all the way to the top. I'm hoping it is. I'm just going to roll this out just a little bit, just to make it a little bit bigger. My cutting board isn't very big, but I just want to be able to have it stretch to go up to the sides. And me and pies do not get along. I usually use frozen pie shells. The recipe called for this, and I happen to actually have some. So set that aside. And here is my pie plate. Isn't that cute? I did lightly butter it. It didn't call for that either, but I don't want my pie to stick. Okay, so I'm going to start in the bottom, and I'm going to press towards the sides. And I have a problem when I make pies that the crust falls down. So I want to make sure that my crust is clear up to the top. And this never looks good either when I do it, but you know, me and baking do not get along. And that's as good as it's going to get, and set it aside. Take a large bowl, and I am going to mix together the ingredients. Take your 1 can of pumpkin, and again, this is pure pumpkin puree, not the pumpkin pie mix. And the 3/4 cups of sugar, the 2 slightly beaten eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, the 2 teaspoons of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and the 1 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, and the 1 can of evaporated milk. I have a whisk here that's got the little scraper so it can scrape the sides. I've never used it before, but we'll see. And see, you can just scrape the sides like that. I got a bumpy bowl, so that's going to be harder to do. Now that it's totally mixed, pour it into your pie crust. Oh, and I think I did okay with doing a deep dish. They can shrink a little bit, but even still, putting it in the oven's going to be so much easier. I have it on a cookie sheet. If it blows over, it will go on the pan, which is easier to clean than my oven. Put your pumpkin pie in a preheated 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. I'm gonna coarsely chop the peanuts now. I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and show you. It's kind of hard to be around the camera. It's pretty easy to do if you have a sharp enough knife. Okay, that should be good enough. So after the 20 minutes, turn down your oven to 350. Let it bake for another 40 minutes or until a knife in the center comes out clean. If the crust is getting too brown, cover it with aluminum foil or use a silicone cover like this. All right, so my pumpkin pies was in the oven for 59 minutes. I checked it a couple times and it wasn't done, and it's done enough. Let it cool to room temperature, and it's a little toasty there because it was that way before I even turned down the heat, and it's not too bad. I mean, it shrunk down a little bit, but you still got a little bit of a crust. Once it cools down to room temperature, put it in the refrigerator to chill until you're ready to serve. So the pie is well chilled. We'll take our thawed out whipped topping, put it on top of the pie. Then we'll take our caramel sauce and we'll just drizzle it. Like so. And then we'll take our chopped up salted peanuts and put it on top of that. So we'll get this dished up and then we can do the taste test. So here is the caramel peanut pumpkin pie. Let's see what Dave thinks.
It's not a trick egg, is it?
It might be.
Tastes like pumpkin. Is it trick pumpkin?
No, it is a pumpkin. It is caramel peanut pumpkin pie.
The pumpkin part's really smooth. I like this. Buddy likes his water. It's really good.
Recipe deals for easy meals. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Cooking with Sherry. Until we meet again.